Touchdown in Wakanda's like, hey, Doomsday, bro, he coming, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he just whooped our ass.
Teasers
I'm
have
over here
all
with
now
it.
officially
Damn,
released
20.
on YouTube, and in this video we are going to
Like, bro,
properly break
Tony
down
Stark.
all
I think
4
some
teasers
rumors
for
is like,
details
bro,
we
low-key,
missed,
that
how
shit-
they all connect,
that shit
how many
Tony,
more
bro.
teasers or
Niggas
trailers
like,
Marvel will release for this film, and what
Niggas
narrative
hurt,
link
nigga, like,
they will
no.
all share. And with the 4th
This
teaser
a Vin
releasing on
Diesel shit.
YouTube, Marvel Studios also began live streaming an official countdown clock to December 18th, and the Russo brothers posted on Instagram the 4th teaser with this caption: "What you've been watching for the past 4 weeks are not teasers or trailers, they are stories, they are clues. Pay attention, hashtag Doomsday has begun." Anthony Russo didn't say he'd be doing this when I shook his hand.
Right,
So
bro.
these scenes may be in the
Damn,
movie, they may
bitch.
not be, but they do give us clues of what the current circumstances are in this film. So with all of this in mind, let's take an even deeper look to find these clues. Before we get into it, we have some fun Doomsday-inspired shirt designs available.
I don't watch shit. I don't let them talk
into the
about
field on
their
the
ads,
left.
bro.
Well, gotta say, that
Never,
was in a
bro.
Damn, you
windmill.
skipping
Now
the
the
facts
official
and shit?
I had to go back,
might
bro.
have compared our initial video on this is right here. But this Steve Rogers-centric teaser, which some online have compared to the B-roll for a Skyrizi commercial, shows Steve driving his 1950 Triumph T100 down a rural.
What the fuck just happened, bro? What are they talking about?
Screenplay
Did they
for
just sneak
Avengers
the ad in the
Doomsday
fucking
said
plot?
he and Peggy's house
For
was
the
in
fucking
a
trailer?
Washington, D.C.,
They said it looked like a
1949.
Skyrizi
We did see the car
commercial.
passing that house in the
Oh, I'm
endgame
tripping.
shot, suggesting that it wasn't some podunk
I'm
in the
like,
middle of
dang.
nowhere place. But I gotta say, this
I
farm
gotta
does
be
look
geek.
pretty far outside of the district. And one detail I did not spot was this secondary set of tire tracks that
Oh,
goes
shit,
out into the
okay,
field on the left,
look.
like some other car chaotically sped
That's fucking
toward or
Tony
away
Stark.
from where Steve is now headed.
You,
The
just you,
fucking nigga,
building
Winter
your
Soldier
app
was over there.
on base 44.
Once he goes inside, Steve pulls out his blue Captain America uniform. Yes, the one he was wearing at the beginning of his return journey at the end of Avengers Endgame to return all the Infinity Stones and Mjolnir to the places and times from which they were taken during the time heist, all to prevent the dangerous disruptions to the time stream that the Ancient One warned Bruce Banner about.
The Infinity Stones create what you experience as the flow of time. Remove one of the stones, and that flow splits. Now, this may benefit your reality, but my new one, not so much. In this new branch reality, without our chief weapon against the forces of darkness, our world will be overrun. Millions will suffer.
But Steve puts his suit in a chest as if he's
Oh, wow.
retiring his role as Cap forever as
That's
he
cool.
faces fatherhood. Steve now rocks this sleeping baby. Now, I spend so much time theorizing about why all these teasers center around parenthood and the threat to the children that I didn't really get to who this baby is. Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter, in most of the history of Marvel lore, never get to have a kid. Across the multiverse, Steve Rogers has kids with other characters. There's Sarah Rogers, aka Crusader, Steve's daughter with Rogue in the 1985 Secret Wars. There's various what-if storylines that led to Steve and Wanda having twins. Steve and Natasha in the animated film The Next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow have a son named James Rogers, raised in secret by Tony Stark after they died. But the only example we have of Steve and Peggy's child is Sharon Rogers, a character from Marvel Future Fight introduced in 2016. He wears a headpiece not unlike the tiara of Scarlet Witch. But something tells me that Avengers Doomsday ain't gonna name this baby Sharon, maybe because it would bring some awkward attention to the fact that this same character of Steve Rogers hooked up with Peggy's descendant of Sharon Carter. Also, this baby is dressed in blue, and there is a blue tub in the background. And in 1949, in rural America, heteronormative standards would make it a bit uncommon to dress a baby girl in blue. So I'm gonna guess this is a boy. And I'm also thinking that this is just a very different character that the Doomsday script is introducing. Like, I've seen some theories out there that this kid could be a version of Brian Braddock, Captain Britain, but I don't know about that because A, this kid is in America right now. He's not gonna have a British accent despite who his mama is. And in Marvel Comics, Brian Braddock was born to Lord James and Lady Elizabeth Braddock,
Yeah,
and he's
bro,
the
like,
younger
this
twin
kid
brother of the
doesn't
mutant
matter.
Psylocke.
What's going on?
Maybe, just maybe, all of these kids that are being taken might have a shared
Oh shit, they try to build a new Avengers.
Oh, they are, bro.
Did let me have a shared
Oh, they resetting shit, bro.
They finna pop back.
Oh
out.
my god, now this is hard. Che, this is what you was talking about, bro. I
They
see
finna
it now,
pop
bro.
back out, bro. Bro, that's fucking
They
Damon
fighting with
Idris
all
right
these
there,
kids.
bro.
That's what I'm
worried.
saying. That's Damson interest. That's what I was thinking
there,
right
nigga.
now.
That's that nigga Damien.
status
Nigga.
an X gene. In the day I visited Agbo, they did let me
That
write a
shit
joke
crazy,
theory
bro.
on their
I think
status
Thor
as
might.
X
Nah, I'm tripping. I was gonna say.
gene. In
Or
the
come
day I
back Thor.
visited Agbo, they did let me write a joke theory on their whiteboard.
Okay, after seeing the teaser for Avengers Doomsday, here is my theory that I've written on, you know, the official production office's board. Theory, Steve's baby will open their eyes and say, "Daddy is doomed," and then transform into Robert Downey Jr. and slap Steve across the face. I'm pretty sure that's what was being said up there.
And hey, their official social account did share me doing this, saying it was their favorite theory. So, theory time! Maybe this baby could actually become the multiversally loose Victor Von Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr.
That's
in this
just- they
movie.
just said
This
this.
could be his
Yeah, he
origin
just
story.
said
He
that.
could be a baby
He
who
did
was
say
never
that.
supposed to be born. A baby whose whole universe is a mistake. A universe formed by Steve Rogers selfishly staying behind.
Bro, what
in
the fuck? They better not make.
universe
They better not
that
make Tony
devoured
Stark
and an
Steve
incursion
Rogers'
that
son, bro.
young
I'm not
Victor
going.
somehow uses his technological
I'm not going for that plot.
Maybe even the
I ain't going
quantum
for that, bro. I don't want to see
inherited
that.
from his father. Hey, maybe even the focus on Steve's motorcycle, maker of triumph, and a synonym of triumph is victory. Maybe a clue that this kid's name is Victor. Yeah, it's a reach theory, the first of many I'm gonna throw out there to give our 2026 What We Got Wrong video lots of
don't need
fodder.
that.
Now, the second teaser played in front of the week 2 screenings of Avatar Fire and Ash and uploaded to YouTube on December 30th, 2025. It features Thor praying for the safety of his adopted daughter figure from Thor Love and Thunder named Love.
Father, all my life, I have answered every call to honor, duty.
You have it listen,
I ain't scared,
you
bro.
type it in, and then you go
Nervous,
there.
bro. Niggas nervous, bro. They feel Tony in the building.
Literally just drag it in.
The war,
They feel that Stark.
now fate.
I think his was like the damn near the best trailer, bro. The way that he was feeling,
Life
Brother.
untouched by the storm.
the way he was like acting in his trailer, bro. Yeah, this might be my favorite
Real
one.
shit, like.
Defeat one more enemy. And return home to her. Not as a warrior, but as warmth. To teach her not battle, but stillness. The kind I never knew. Please, Father, heed my words.
So before, in this video, I noted that Thor is carrying Stormbreaker here. He's not carrying the reassembled version of Mjolnir that he had at the end of Thor Love and Thunder. It was Love who carried Stormbreaker into that final battle, so it suggests that that girl was taken. Now, why is Thor's hair short again? Thor's hair was only buzzed as a consequence of being brought to Sakaar, and Thor Ragnarok is a warrior fighting in the Grandmaster's arena, a gladiator haircut given to him by Stan Lee. But he continued to rock that cut in Infinity War, but then 5 years later in Endgame, and after that in Thor Love and Thunder, he was back to the long locks. I don't know, maybe you could say the short hair is Thor's god killer look, especially when he's facing this new enemy he references who might have cured Thanos. But now I'm trying to figure out what Love's stuffed animal is. Is it supposed to be the original version of her father Gore? Some are saying it looks like a unicorn, which could be from that planet full of unicorns that Thor told Jane Foster about in What If Season 1 Episode 7? Or is that stuffed animal, you guessed it, a form of Dr. Doom that took this girl out of her bed? Kidding about that one. Easily the best of these 4 teasers was the X-Men one that played in week 3 of Avatar Fire and Ash screenings and uploaded to YouTube on January 6, 2026. My initial video about this trailer
I don't know if
is
this
here,
is the best
but
one,
I found
bro.
a lot of new details in this teaser alone. First off, the X-Mansion isn't exactly the parts of the estate that we've seen in past X-Men movies. Specifically, we are in a larger room with 2 spiral staircases and various round columns containing books that appears to be part of a library or archives. And in the distance of this room, we see a stained glass window with what I assume is the Xavier family crest with the blue X, which is where Charles likely derived the X-Men logo. But you can also see this Latin motto,
I
Fiat
feel like this
Lux,
nigga gonna
Fiat
kill
Vis,
that, bro.
or
You
let
right.
there be light, let there be strength. Let there be light being the first word spoken by God the Creator in the book of Genesis to breathe existence into the universe, followed by a prayer that mankind, or I suppose mutant kind, would have the strength to survive. In my past video, I made a big stink about this chess piece, claiming it was a queen and thus a Scarlet Witch clue. No, I was wrong. It's definitely a king, and the piece to the left of it is a rook. It's the black king that levitates here, and some of you also came after me for speculating that if this piece was not metal, it would have to be Charles levitating it with telekinesis, some saying that Charles only has telepathy and mind control, not telekinesis, but in fact, Charles Xavier does have minor amounts of telekinesis as well in the comics. It just wasn't as pronounced in the films, but I always assumed in the films he was using telekinesis to move his chair. But anyway, I'm going to assume that all of these chess pieces have metal, and it's just kind of a callback to the ending of 2006's X-Men The Last Stand when Magneto showed his powers were returning by moving the chess piece. But specifically, the Black King is in checkmate here. Looks like the Black King is in B2 with the metal rook in A2, and that looks like a black rook, the King's rook, in C1, and a pesky metal knight is over there in D2. So if the Black King were to try to take the rook, it's still checkmate because the metal pawn or bishop could take it. The Black King can't move forward to B3 because of that pesky knight, can't move back to B1 because of that knight, and then its own pieces block it off to any diagonal moves into the C column. So really the Black King is being levitated here to topple it, to signal an acceptance of checkmate. I go into this because we did break down the exact chessboard configuration in our breakdown of the first X-Men film that we did in 2024, so I just like to do this whenever we can. I just love the exchange of dialogue between Charles and Eric here.
Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
These two old friends clasp hands, both looking worse for wear. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. This past year was a lot. If you're coming into 2026 feeling a little heavy or overwhelmed, or feeling overwhelmed by a pattern of feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. We can all use a little support from time to time. And great existentialist therapy doesn't just there where years of if the match BetterHelp what you choose yours most come in 12.com in 20 is the tier. Says Everest is outside fighting Sentinels, and I gotta keep feeling lighter in 2026. Meanwhile, Cyclops is outside fighting Sentinels, and I gotta keep saying that this is the best Cyclops has ever looked in live action. Just the intensity that James Marsden brings here. You'll notice there is a hint of silver metal in Cyclops' eyepiece as he removes it, which some are trying to compare to the futury sunglasses that Scott is seen wearing in the final scene of X-Men Days of Future Past. And while we do see a giant Sentinel stomping behind him in the background on the left, I believe that is another Sentinel that we see standing in the background on the far right, and I think between that Sentinel and Scott in the center, that is a severed Sentinel head lying on the ground more immediately to his right. Now, when asked about Cyclops' look recently, lying on the ground more immediately to his right. Now, when asked about Cyclops' look recently in an interview with Power of X-Men on Instagram, Chris Claremont, the amazing comics writer, arguably most responsible for the best X-Men storylines in the 1980s, weighed in on this teaser and suggested that Famke Janssen, Jean Grey, could return in Doomsday as well.
What a difference a costume makes.
Yeah, what do you think of the Doomsday teaser with Cyclops?
How to put this tactfully? Have you ever noticed that with almost all costumes that work in comic books, in real life, they don't register as brilliantly as they do in print? I mean, yeah. Jim's designs are gorgeous on the page. And the thing I find most wonderful about it is the bringing back
James Marsden, bringing back James Marsden?
The original James Marsden. No, bringing back the original cast, including Famke.
Now, for what it's worth, at a Huntsville Fan Expo last year, Claremont also made some small headlines claiming all kinds of stuff that were going to come up in Doomsday, including that Robert Downey Jr. would be playing several characters beyond Doom, including a version of Iron Man, that Chris Evans would be playing an evil Captain Hydra version of Steve Rogers, that Elizabeth Olsen would be playing a good version of Scarlet Witch, and that Psylocke would be coming back and Wolverine would kill someone very important. All of this despite Famke Janssen and Elizabeth Olsen insisting convincingly that they would not be returning, and I will say that we have seen other comics writers like Jim Starlin claiming things about MCU films like a young Thanos coming up in Eternals that never ended up in the film. Still, I do think that Scott looks distraught enough that he is fighting for or avenging a very close family member, like Jean Grey or one of their kids, Nathan Summers, aka Cable, or Rachel Summers. Now, we should also note that there are other Fox X-Men confirmed for this movie, including Kelsey Grammer as Beast, Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler, and Rebecca Romaine as Mystique. None of them appear here, so does that mean that they go down in this battle? Well, we know they're gonna have more to do in this movie. Like Alan Cumming confirmed that he has a fight scene with Pedro Pascal.
Then I'm sort of learning these fights. I'm like, what? Who am I fighting with? And I was like, you're pitting Pedro Pascal against the head.
And it sounds like this is a scene that Kelsey Grammer indicated that he was also a part of.
I've really had a great time with the new guy from Fantastic Four.
Oh, Pedro Pascal.
Pedro, yeah, Pedro.
Pedro Pascal.
Thanks, Pedro, wonderful. I mean, I really, really enjoyed hanging out with him, and we worked together.
You worked together. You shared a scene. in
Yes.
some capacity.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the way the X-Men get out of this jam with the Sentinels is a rescue from the Fantastic Four, coming from the 828 universe directly to the 10005 universe. And that brings us to the final teaser, which was
Damn, that
first
nigga's spoiling
attached to
shit,
the Week
bro.
4 screenings of Avatar Fire and Ash, and then uploaded to YouTube this week. In my first video, I explained how Shuri's exact words suggest her nephew, Prince T'Challa, aka Toussaint, T'Challa's son, was also taken from her life.
I've lost everyone that matters to me.
But I think my favorite detail from this trailer is how Shuri and M'Baku's armor have been upgraded to include some aquamarine colored pieces of Talokan vibranium. And I think Namor's high collar is woven with black Wakandan vibranium. They're sharing resources. And now that we're seeing it clearly, that is definitely one of the pyramids of Talokan, along with some Talokanil stonework on the wall of the structure that Namor is in, the same structure that we saw as the Talokanil city that Shuri and Namor visited in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but now it has been relocated to this arid, windswept desert. Yes, Talokan used to be on the ocean floor, somewhere off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula in the Atlantic Ocean. So now this would confirm that either this was all pruned and relocated to the void by Dr. Doom to form
What the fuck is Dr. Doom doing to
looking
niggas,
at
bro?
the ocean of the 616 universe that has been drained or scorched to evaporate the salt water, suffered some environmental disaster due to an incursion perhaps. The Talokanil need water to survive.
If that
and their
nigga
water-rated
gets shit like
masks
that
are not
right, bro.
designed to last forever. So this is a direct assault on them. They are in a post-apocalyptic scenario. But now, looking at these teasers together, I do wonder, while we do see Ben Grimm the Thing, why don't we see the other three members of the Fantastic Four? And who is Shuri doing the Wakanda Forever salute to in the final part of this trailer? Because doesn't it look like she's returning a salute from someone else who first gave it to her? Which leads us to ask, who of these arriving visitors, A, would even know that salute, and B, feel comfortable initiating it?
Oh, little Black Panther.
Like, all right, bro, I'm gonna see you later, bro. He just gave me some bad
Wakanda
news.
forever. Maybe just Wakanda for the day. And maybe just keep your mask on, all right?
But also, I've theorized this before, I think it is possible that it is not just the Fantastic Four on that ship when it gets to Earth, because I think the surviving X-Men are with them. And that could include a character that Marvel is closely guarding as a secret for this movie, someone who is also denied being in the movie, but someone who I think this movie really needs, someone who could really help with the current environmental situation on Earth, someone with a royal lineage that Shuri would respect, and someone that Thor even mentioned in his teaser if you listen closely.
A life untouched by the storm.
Yes, Storm! Aurora Monroe descends from Kenyan royalty. Could Halle Berry's Storm be part of this welcome party? Now, I did cover the mysterious runes
That'd be
around the
hard,
logo,
though.
and what I think they are in this video. Comes and flash on the screen from the release date to the countdown clock.
Yeah, that'd be
I've been
crazy.
obsessing over these. For the first one, it flashes briefly to 1E:24:02020. For the second teaser, it briefly flashes to 1E:17BER:02020. And for the third, it's 1E:11BER:02020. You'll notice a similar pattern with the fourth one. Now, there are some theories online that said these might correspond to specific time codes in Avengers Endgame, or maybe X-Men Days of Future Past, specific scenes pertaining to parts of the time heist, like the moment when Loki shapeshifts into Steve to mock him, or the moment when Banner convinces the Ancient One that they will return the stones from where they took them. But the reality is, this is just an editing effect, where some characters switch from the release date to the countdown number. That's why Burr is left in there, and the only thing that changes is the number of days remaining in the 12th month. So for the first one, there was 11 months and 24 days left, so that's why 24 is there. For the second, 11 months and 17 days left, that's why the 17 is there. The third, 11 months and 11 days left, etc. I mean, I really love that time code theory, but it's probably not the case. So Franklin Richards, Steve Rogers' son, Love, Nathan Summers, and Toussaint. We've speculated that Doom is gathering these kids as anchor beings, or maybe he just wants these kids for their powers to create battle worlds. But what if they are all a young wave of mutants that he's trying to populate his new world with? We're gonna get more answers in a future trailer. See, here's what I think Avengers Doomsday is gonna do for its trailer timeline throughout this year. I think on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th, we'll see a Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom-centric teaser that they have a 30-second version of and a full minute version of. Then the first week of April, at CinemaCon, I think we'll see our first official trailer that will be in the 2 minutes and change range. Then at Comic-Con in late July, on the eve of Spider-Man Brand New in April at CinemaCon, I think we'll see our first official trailer that will be in the 2 minutes and change range. Then at Comic-Con in late July, on the eve of Spider-Man Brand New Day, they'll make some exclusive announcement to the attendees at Hall H that maybe will never come out online, but don't you worry, because I guarantee you the post-credits scene of Spider-Man Brand New Day will be something that sets up Doomsday. Then in September, they're gonna re-release Avengers Endgame, and I've theorized that they're gonna include an alternate post-credit scene or something specific to get our butts in theaters to go watch that. Then once we get into October and November, you'll start seeing regular drops and behind-the-scenes stuff. They'll start doing the proper marketing campaign. But I ask of you, what do you think of this crazy theory that Steve and Peggy's son could just be a young Victor? And Marvel sneakily did reveal Dr. Doom in their first ever teaser for this film, nearly 12 months to the day, so that when Agbo goes back to show all of us influencers they invited going, "Aww," at their teaser, we're all gonna be like, "Oh God, we're doing that to Dr. Doom?" New Rockstars has now officially begun our Road to Doomsday rewatch podcast series to catch you all up on the essential Marvel films and
that shit was too.
Yeah, bro. So what y'all think, bro? I like where they're going with a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They switching things up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, we getting some new things. You feel what I'm saying?
I missed a lot in the Black Panther trailer for some reason. I mean, not the Black Panther trailer, but the breakdown trailer.
Huh?
Which one?
I missed a lot in the Ben Grimm trailer.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four
Like,
Black Panther one. That one I didn't pay attention to the squad. I don't know why when we watched it, bro.
Everybody had the water masks on and shit. I thought they were just all linking up on some shit. I was like,
bro,
oh,
me
cool
too,
now.
bro. You see why?
Like
you
I wasn't
see,
even thinking about.
bro.
Say what you was gonna say, my bad.
You see how like when we was looking at when we was watching it the first time, we had to keep going back because I knew I was missing something, bro.
Yeah,
that trailer I couldn't lock in for some reason.
But
so like
low-key,
I'm
like,
not surprised that
what
I
we
was
said
missing a
though
lot
was
of
like
shit.
what we said was pretty on topic to what I think going on too. I think
don't
as a
know,
group,
bro.
our ideas like put together, we damn near got the Marvel universe figured out. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like the main plot at least. Where am I chatting?
I guess when we was talking
like
about
from
the
what they giving out. So no, the kids.
Yeah,
that's
the
one
kids
thing.
like,
No,
that's
the new Avengers. That's crazy. That's tough.
What the fuck? I did
Yeah,
not
right.
expect to really hit on that.
The kids, that they really, but that one they was throwing that right in our face, bro. Like nigga, look, we building the new Avengers, bro. I'm not, bro. That's not Tony Stark, bro. Like we have to, like that's not Victor Cruz, bro. I can't go for it. I will never go for it. It can't be. I'll be like, what the fuck?
Spider-Man dropping. See, everybody excited for Spider-Man and shit. Like, I'm excited for this though. Like,
bro, Spider-Man's gonna be tough. Bro.
Spider-Man gonna be good, bro.
And we're sleeping on it.
I keep seeing Spider-Man, bro. I want something else, bro.
Bro, what is Spider-Man gonna be about, bro? They gonna tell us they gonna tell us the whole
Is there a Spider-Man trailer, bro?
What's it called?
In my thoughts, I've been fighting demons, ain't no invitation. When I lose my shit, it's not cool, bad situation. Why am I wearing all these faces? In my truth, I'm a bad man, can't keep up with the evasion. Gotta stand on business and stay solo. Still praying for the days where the niggas ask for photos. In my head, am I the problem? Bad thoughts, yeah, I caught them. Bloody fists, yeah, I fought them. Road to riches, I'm on the bottom. So do I take my time and just fight my temptation? Or do I let go all my problems? Can I say salutation?